If you're in the market for a lifetime American-made duffel bag, well, you have several options, and until recently, that used to be basically Filson and then everything else. But recently, a couple of new up-and-comers have been showing their teeth. So, is Filson still worth the nearly $100 more than these guys? We're gonna find out in today's video. Now, in front of me, from left to right, well, actually, from your right to my left, my right, your this way, this is the heat-strapped Pioneer bag. This is the Bradley Mountain Ranger, and this is the Filson Medium Duffel. Now, prices for these bad boys, the Heat Straps Pioneer is $475, the Bradley Mountain Ranger Duffel is $465, and the Filson Medium Duffel is $595. We're gonna compare all of these bags, but first I wanna talk about the Filson because up until recently, this, as I mentioned, was kind of all you had, right? There was Filson and then everything else. And Filson is still fantastic. This is their rugged twill, which is tough as nails, and it just patina is amazing too. Here is my old original briefcase, and look at what this same color will eventually turn into. It's really something special, and honestly, besides the color, this thing is no worse for the wear. There is no fraying, snags, holes, anything like that. So Filson certainly has the benefit of a long history behind them, but is that enough? I mean, that's $100 more than these other ones over here. Is it $100 better value? Well, again, that's what our comparison's all about today. So these three right here just represent a small selection of what's available today. There, of course, is Duluth Pack and Break Trail, other companies that are making awesome stuff kind of like this, and you might find something that's a little bit more your style. But when it comes to heritage bags, I think right in front of me I have a great selection. Let's begin with capacity. The Filson is actually the largest by a very small margin. It measures 20 inches long by 12 inches wide by 13 inches high with an interior volume of 43 liters. The Heat Straps is just a tad smaller, being 20 inches long by 12 inches wide by 12 inches high with an interior volume of 42.5 liters. And while the Bradley Mountain Ranger is the largest duffel that they offer, it's the smallest of this group here, measuring 21.5 inches long by 12 inches wide by 10 inches high with an interior volume of just about 42 liters. Now, interior volume only tells part of the story when it comes to ultimate capacity. The Filson has no exterior pockets at all, so everything you get is inside the bag. The Bradley Mountain has 3 exterior pockets. One here, that's a snap closure. One on the end, that's kind of an open-topped dump pouch. And another open-top pocket on this side here. All of these pockets are, you know, decently sized, but they pale in comparison to the Heat Straps, which is just like, it looks like every corner of this thing has a giant pocket. So we have one there with a snap closure, one on the side, which is completely open, another one on this side, which has a snap closure as well. And these are besom pockets, so they expand. This, we'll get into the construction a little bit later, but they also use a lighter material for their pockets, so they expand a lot easier. And then on this side, you see this zipper pouch here. This is not actually an exterior pocket, but this is a boot storage area. So the Bradley Mountain and the Heat Straps both have 3 exterior pockets. However, the Heat Straps pockets are larger and it also has a larger interior volume. So as far as complete total capacity, I'd say it goes to the Heat Straps. Now, the construction of these 3 is generally the same. Some sort of a canvas type of body material with leather appointments. All of those leather straps wrap around the entire bag, basically creating a type of basket and really being able to hold all of your stuff. Filson uses their legendary 20-ounce rugged twill sourced from Britain and treated with an aqueous wax finish. Their leather is vegetable tanned bridle leather from Wickett and Craig. The hardware is all solid brass, and it's made in the USA. Bradley Mountain uses an 18-ounce waxed canvas. The leather is 9-ounce harness leather. The hardware is a combination of solid brass and copper, and it's also made in the USA. Heat Straps uses 18-ounce waxed canvas for the main body and 10-ounce waxed canvas for the pockets. The leather is Horween Chrome Excel. The hardware is solid brass, and it is also made in the USA. Now let's get to features, because oftentimes I found that the features are the thing that really make or break a bag. Filson has arguably the simplest bag, with only 2 interior pockets and not much else. However, the details on the Filson are the most sorted out. Their hardware is custom debossed with their name, the interior bindings are all covered, and there's also the Filson legacy stretching back over 100 years. So of the group, you can tell that this one has been around the longest and has been refined to a science. Everything from the storm flap to the leather zipper pulls are perfectly sized and shaped. The Bradley Mountain has one zippered interior pocket, but it also has hand-hammered copper rivets. These are a detail I appreciate and give the bag an artisan touch rather than a mass-produced factory feel. The exterior leather patch can also be used to lash things to the bag if needed, and while the leather details are the smallest in scale, these straps are thinnest of the bunch, they are easily the most beautiful. Their harness leather is gorgeous, and the color combination here is excellent. Though I think the key leash that resides in one of the exterior pockets should have been a little bit smaller because it doesn't move very easily, and I only wish they included a storm flap like the Filson and heat straps over the main zipper. The heat straps Pioneer is definitely the most feature-packed. There's a boot/shoe compartment accessible through a side zipper to keep your dirty boots away from everything else. There's a padded laptop sleeve inside along with 2 large pockets, an exterior luggage strap, and the biggest shoulder pad I've ever seen. Heat straps tend to overbuild everything in their product lineup, and this bag is no different. For some people, all this organization will seal the deal for them, but for others, it may be all too much. Now, this video has been a while in the making because I want to do some in-field research, and I had the ability to travel with each of these, including with an airplane, on shuttles, and a fair bit of walking. Each one was different and had its own advantages and disadvantages. The Filson was perfect in its simplicity. Its cavernous interior fit everything I needed and more, though I found myself wishing for at least one exterior compartment, and in my opinion, the Filson Medium Duffel is best used as a set combined with something like the original briefcase. It simply lacks the organization to be a one-and-done kind of bag. The Bradley Mountain probably felt best in hand. I appreciated the smaller size, and of the bunch, I think it's the best looking. I did find myself really stuffing it to make up for the lack of capacity, but if you travel somewhat light, it might just be perfect. The exterior pocket kept essentials handy, and whether you use the handles or the shoulder strap, it just carries very easily. The heat straps is a beast. Of the bunch, this could easily be the bag that does it all as a one-bag type solution. There were places to keep everything, so chargers, toiletries, accessories, everything had its own place, and the laptop sleeve took a little getting used to, and the boot compartment worked just as well to separate dirty laundry from clean laundry. If I was going somewhere and could only carry one bag, the heat straps would probably be it. Now, that being said, if you don't use all of its capacity and features, this bag can be overkill for some trips. There's a lot of material and features here which can become cumbersome if not utilized. Now, while all of these bags are very similar, they're also very different. And if I had to pick which one I thought would last the longest, it's really difficult to tell. All of the components on all of these feel like they'll last for a long time. Now, the Filson has been tried and true. I mean, it's been around forever. The company is a very old company, and they seem to at least make this product and some of their luggage the way they always have. Now, that is subject to change with the way Filson does things, but, you know, this thing has the kind of the legacy cost, right? It's been around for a long time. You know that it's going to last a long time, and so you can buy it sleeping well and knowing that that's the case. The Filson is basically as reliable and as simple as a wood-burning stove, and if that's what you're after, then maybe that premium of $100 is worth it. The Bradley Mountain Ranger felt most to me kind of like a gentleman's type of duffel bag. And what I mean by that is it's beautiful. It is really a looker. There were plenty of times where I was just looking at this thing and found myself kind of staring at it going, man, that is a good looking bag. The copper rivets, even just the treatment that they've done here where the edges are treated on the leather appointments, the colors, everything is very, very nice. Now, what I mean by gentleman's bag, I don't mean that in a bad sense. I mean that, you know, if you look at the thickness of this strap here, which is maybe just shy of 1 inch, and you look at the Filson and the heat straps, they are much thicker, both in breadth and in width. So, you know, everything on this is just a little bit smaller than the other two. Now, that doesn't mean that it's less durable. I mean, especially when you consider that this kind of stuff is really meant to do some serious duty work. It's not going to fall apart on you. These might be overbuilt. But I think that of them all, this is the most refined, the best looking, and the one that I kind of could picture as a showpiece just as well as a duffel bag. Now, the heat straps, I would say, kind of goes the opposite way. I'd say that it is the least refined of the two here. The edges of the leather are cut. They aren't treated. Now, as you use them, they will darken and get better with age. They also do use hand-hammered rivets in some places. These are brass rivets, whereas these are copper. Brass is a little bit stronger than copper, but you know, neither of them are going to fall apart. This also has a lot of the features that the Filson has, like the storm flap that goes over the main zipper here. And it's, you know, it's a good looking bag. It's also just a behemoth. So in a way, I feel like this right here has taken the best of both worlds and put it here, albeit in a less refined package. But at only $10 more than the Bradley Mountain, you're getting a lot of bags. So I think it's really gonna be whether you need the capacity and all of the features that this has. If this is gonna be your one kind of travel bag where you're gonna put everything in it and then carry almost nothing else, this could be great. Or as a go bag, something that you leave in your trunk or in your car or whatever. You know, you need something with that kind of capacity and organization inside. This is it. They've thrown everything but the kitchen sink at this thing, and for $10 more than the Bradley Mountain, I'd say it's a great value. Now that being said, if you just need something that's really good looking and will do the job and sort of like that heritage style, don't necessarily care about all of the capacity and features of the heat straps, this is a really, really nice option. And I mean, you know, it is subjective, but I really like their leather appointments here. I think I've mentioned that a couple times. The Filson is a tried and true classic. I gotta tell you though, at this point, I feel like the competition is really nipping at their heels, and for them to maintain their lead, they really just have to rely on their history. Filson has been around for a long time. People know it will last a long time, but is that gonna be the gold standard from here forward? I don't know. So that being said, is the Filson worth it? In my opinion, I don't think so. I think the $100 could be easily spent somewhere else. You can get either of these two options and then get yourself a pretty decent briefcase, you know, to go along with it. $100 goes a long way towards other things. Speaking of which, let's talk about the giveaway from last video. Now, if you're not familiar, what we do here is I've been giving away $100 via Tremendous, which is a, you can cash it out in gift card or PayPal or whatever, if you leave a comment below. So you have to comment the key phrase, subscribe to this channel. We then do a random comment picker in the next video, and then you can win $100. So let's go ahead and pick the winner from last week's video. All right, congratulations. Keep an eye on the comment section. I will comment on your video, and then we can finish up this whole transaction via email. Let's talk about this week's key phrase. I don't really have one yet, but let's just say bags made in the USA. There you go, bags made in the USA. Go ahead and comment that below. Next week, we will do another random comment picker and choose another winner. Of course, you have to be subscribed to this channel. I do check for that. If you're not, then we just do another drawing and I choose somebody else. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.